Hey you guys, it is I, the Concrete Catwalk, and I am back with another video today. So, before we get into it, I want to say again, to those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. I am a reseller who sells gently pre-loved, pre-owned, gently owned, or new, vintage, and slightly distressed merchandise in my Poshmark closet. So if you are interested in anything that I have listed in my closet, you can go and head over to Poshmark 1 to check out my closet, and 2, go ahead and follow me. And also, for those of you, my catwalkers who are returning, thank you. I want to tell you I love you all. If you also want to follow me too, you can head over to Instagram. I have an Instagram account. It's called The Catwalks Concrete on IG. And I also accept DMs over there. If there is anything in my Poshmark closet that you should so happen to be interested in, please feel free. Send me a message and we can talk about it. Together we can work it out so that you can get it before somebody else does. But, woo, honey, today we have a lot to talk about. We have some things to get into. Actually, it's one specific thing we're going to get in. And it's something that I want to share with you, something that has happened to me just as being, in this resale business. There's a lot that goes with it. And I've said it and I'll say it again. You've got to be on point. You've got to be on the ball. You've got to be ready to handle whatever comes your way. But this particular situation happened to me when I was selling on another platform, and I don't think it's important what platform, but it's just important to know that it happened, and it taught me a valuable lesson. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. So this is kind of like this particular video today is going to be kind of like a story time, and it's also going to be kind of like a sharing of information so that this does not happen to you. Some things that you can do to prevent this from happening to you. Not to say that this is a perfect science, not at all. Not at all. But I will say the more you know, the more knowledge you have, the better you can protect yourself and your business from this happening, or from happening, God, let me get it out, from happening to you. So let's just get into it. So, long story short, I'm just going to put it out there and then I'll get into the details. I got scammed out of a Prada bag. Point blank. I got scammed out of a very expensive Prada bag. This happened well over 10 years ago when I was getting into this whole resale phenomena. And it really was an eye-opener to me, because it taught me a few things, and we're going to lay this out as we get into this whole dynamic. We're going to lay it out. So let me just nutshell the story. So I had a black Prada bag that had chains, gold chains, real cute, petite bag. Something that, super gorgeous. Anybody who was interested in would love the bag. Perfectly described it, in next to new condition, no issues, a little bit of tarnish on the chain, which I made that very clear in the description about this particular said so item. So, interest. Oh, all of a sudden, here comes the sale. Oh, great. So, didn't think anything of it because this person, they just paid, everything done. Okay, ready, ship it. When am I going to get it? I'm so excited. Blah, 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 blah. Great. Fast forward, person receives the item. I'm thinking everything's cool. 2 days go by, notification. Great. So I'm thinking to myself, and I gotta say it the way I felt. I'm like, what the hell? Notification? Notification about what? So, open it up, open the email. This person. Oh, well, the item is not as described, and I don't think it's da-da-da-da, and it's not to my liking, and it's not in the, and I'm thinking to myself, really? So, at this point, I have to to entertain it. I have to entertain it, so I send the person an email. I'm like, what's the problem here? You know, there's a case that's open. I don't understand why we have any issue when clearly the item was described as set forth. This is what you'd be receiving as pictured, no issues. So, long story short, nutshell, we go back and forth. This particular site decides in their favor. Two things happen. I lose out on my item, and I lose out on the money. You heard me. And I suffered negative feedback at this particular site. And when I tell you I'm gonna be nice, front door pissed, I was front door pissed. Pissed. But I will say this, it taught me a valuable lesson. And to this day, this is something that I do, and I will never not deter from this. When you are selling online, when you have so much invested online, I am not talking about the items. I'm talking about your reputation. I'm talking about your time. I'm talking about the effort that you put in to run your site and to make sure that everything that you are selling goes out the door the way that it has been described, listed, whether it has a defect, missing a button, a slight slit, this, that, a third, the that, and on. You have to do this. You better go and check out who's buying your items. And I don't care what platform you're selling on. I don't care if it's Poshmark. I don't care if it's eBay. I don't care if it's America. I don't care whatever it is. You better go and check out who's buying your stuff. Because the scam out here with some people is real. And you better make sure that you know that, one, who you're dealing with, and two, I have learned to do this, and it sucks. But I snap pictures of everything that I'm doing with that item before it lands in that box. So from the time that I'm listing that item and shooting it on a mannequin to the time that I'm boxing it up, I'm detailing everything that happens with that said item so that when it goes out, that person, whoever is receiving it, cannot challenge me and say, oh, this wasn't the way that it was when they said that they described that it looked like it had this, it had that. Try me. Try me. Try me. Because in this environment, and with the way things are online these days, you cannot help but to make sure that you CYA. And when I say CYA, I'm going to say it. Cover your ass. Cover your assets. Cover your ass. However you want to write it down, you better cover and protect the investment that is getting ready to hop in that mail. Because what I find, and this is no disservice to the platform that I'm selling on, Poshmark, no disservice whatsoever, because I think that when you enter into this, all they are is the platform. They're the medium that allows you to get your objects out there so that you can have a wide audience who can take a look at whatever you have and make the decision whether they want to buy it or not. But I'll say this, it is up to you as the seller, the owner, the business owner, to protect yourself, because it can be a very slippery slope, because you've got plenty of people, and I'm not arguing one side or the other, buyer or seller, because you got some dishonest sellers out here just like you've got some dishonest buyers out here, and people do all kinds of crazy stuff saying, oh, it's flawless, and it is a hot damn mess. I'm simply saying, when you put yourself out there and you have things out there, protect yourself. Do a little working knowledge about who's buying your item. Do a little self-protection by making sure that you photograph your items and you accurately describe and shoot pictures of that you're going to post of what it's looking like when it's leaving out the door, so that the person can see exactly that whatever's going out the door is exactly what you posted online about what they bought. A lot of the times, and it's horrible, people put you in these circumstances because, and I don't want to assume what's going on behind closed doors with the individuals that do these things, but let's be real. Sometimes people are so desperate to have a certain something that they will do anything in order to get the item and then decide that they don't want it by making up some crazy story so that they can real time keep the item and keep their money. It's a big hustle that goes on out here. Even to this day, I've received scam emails on Poshmark where people are sending emails talking about, I really like this item. Is it still available? Can you contact me outside of... No, I cannot. Will I? No, I will not. And you know what? If you send me an email like that, yes, two things are going to happen. I'm going to report it as spam, and I'm going to block you from having the ability to communicate with me. And I'm simply saying, why waste people's time? Why go through this whole process of wasting someone's time if honestly legit, because I know if it was me, and I'm speaking for me, if I know I cannot afford something, I am not going to waste your time and be with the back and forth and this, and this, and this. Or if I know that I really want something and I can't afford it, I'm not going to go through the whole process of getting it and then lying about it and saying there's a problem with it so that I can keep the item and keep the money too. No. Because then that says two things about you to me. It says, one, you're a con artist, and two, says you're a liar. So in the world of doing all of this online sales, it has become almost a sport where you've got to stay and pay attention to who you're engaging with and be very leery and watchful of the communications that come into you, because everybody that's out there trying to transact with you, unfortunately, is not honest. And it's the same that can be said on a buyer side looking at sellers. Not every seller out there selling to you is honest. It's a two-way street. I'm talking on the side of those folks who are out there trying to do the legitimate thing of upfront, honest, good business. That's the practice that I practice, and that's the one that I want to keep. And when you go through being scammed out of something super expensive, it causes you to be very cautious moving forward. It causes you to pay attention to the little details that go into what it is that you're doing, and the little details into how communications come to you and if they are legitimate or not. Because it's the worst feeling in the world when you sent an item out into this world, this universe, and the person on the receiving end got game. Not cute. Not cute at all. So I'm going to leave a list of things that you can do to protect yourself if you're in this resale world, if you're in this world of buying and selling, whatever it is. Protect yourself. Pay attention to what's coming to you and pay attention to who you're communicating with and who you're sending or potentially sending your items to. Because I can just speak from my own personal experience. It's not a good feeling to be at a loss of $400+ and I'm rounding the figure because I think that's what it was at that point in time, but it's okay. It's lessons learned, because what goes around comes around, and people always forget that you don't get very far by being dishonest with others. You just don't. So why even bother? Why do it? So I just wanted to kind of share with you my experience in a nutshell about what happened, and let you know that, yeah, it's a learning curve. You figure out as you go along that protection is key. Avoid being scammed. Pay attention to who you're interacting with. Pay attention to what you're doing. And above all, just know that there are a lot of good people out here who are legitimately looking for something nice, and they want to have a positive interaction, just like you as a seller sending your items to those folks. So on that note, let me know in the comments below if you've ever been scammed out of something, and what was your reaction, what happened, how did it all work out, what do you do differently, and what do you know better now. But in the end, I want to say I love you all, and please make sure you do 3 things: like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that bell so that you can get notifications of my videos, which go up every Sunday, so that you don't miss out on what I post next. So I want to say thank you for checking in, and I love you all very much. See you next Sunday. Thank you. Bye-bye.